an introduction to the course, if you will. I just want to step you through what we're going to do so that you have some idea of what this course will be like, because online course is obviously different from an in-person course, okay? And what I'm going to start to do is I'm just going to begin in the beginning. So if you want to know when your Zoom session is, and you want to get the link to get into the Zoom session, just go into our Canvas course homepage. And I'm going to change this after today. After today, I'm going to streamline the front page. But if you go to announcement 3, I've written up the class schedule for this week. So it tells you everything that you should do and when you should do it by, how long you can expect for it to take, and you can click on this link to take you here. And so this is our Zoom meeting link. And I'm going to put this on the front page after today, all right? So this will be the section, the day, the time, and the Zoom link. And you always click the same link. And if you want to know what section I'm in, all you have to do is go to your class schedule and you'll see your section. So for example, this is section 101BB, okay? Everybody's good on that?
Okay.
All right. And if you have questions, it's easier, and hold on one second. Let me make sure that I'm sharing screens. Am I sharing screens with you guys?
There's no screen sharing right now.
Yeah, let's rectify that. Okay. And hopefully this won't screw up other things. Zoom has been really kind of...
Okay, there you go.
Okay, good. So Zoom has been really kind of wonky. I don't know why. Okay, so like I said, you'll go into announcement 3, click on the link for module 1, M1D Zoom meeting. It'll tell you the section, day, time, and the Zoom link. And if you want to know what section you're in, just go to your course schedule under Campus, Solutions and ERNIE, and it will tell you which section you're in, okay? And if you have any questions, it's easier to just butt in and just speak up rather than do the chat, because when I'm doing screen share, I can't see the chat window. I'll go back periodically and check, but I can't see it in real time, okay? So what I want to do first is I want to step through the syllabus, which I did in one of the announcements, but I just want to make sure that everyone's on the same page. So if you want to get the syllabus, you can click here. And you can go ahead and you can download it, which I'll do. One of the things that's super important for us is going to be contact information. Okay. And so this information here that's highlighted in the blue is going to be really important. I give out my personal cell number, so if you're having problems with anything in the class, you can pretty much contact me on demand. Okay, if I'm not in the middle of class or I'm not doing something that I can't respond right that minute, I generally will. And so this is an easy way to get in touch with me whenever you need help. You're working a homework problem, 8 p.m., you're stuck on something, feel free to text me. That's what I'm here for. And you aren't imposing. I mean, it doesn't take me very long to answer student questions, and it will save you a lot of time. So one of the things in this course that is going to be challenging for some students is, well, first of all, kind of being a little more responsible than you would probably have to be for an in-person course. But the other thing also is to be a little proactive and kind of troubleshoot. This course, I don't anticipate it will probably take anyone more than 5 hours a week if you're really on schedule and you're doing everything. So one of the things that happens sometimes with students is they'll come to me and say, I spent 2 hours on the homework. And honestly, I'm kind of ambivalent as to how to respond. I mean, on the one hand, it's good that you're working so hard, but on the other hand, it's not good that you're working so hard, because you want to work not just hard, you want to work smart. So if you're working on the homework problems and you're finding a problem that's taking you more than 5-10 minutes, you have to know when the bottle's empty, right? So just text me, say, hey, I'm stuck on this. Another really good resource when you're working through the problems, and this will become a little more apparent when you're doing the homework on my Math Lab and Mastering, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, is there is a option called Ask My Instructor. And when you click on that link, it sends me an email for the specific problem you're working on, and I can see what you're doing, okay? But it's going to be really important, this contact information. Okay, this is a course overview in the sense that this is a business statistics class. You might say, well, I'm not in the College of Business, so what am I doing here? Good question. The thing you have to realize is that every single thing that someone pays you money to do is a business. Okay, I mean, a museum's a business, Embry-Riddle's a business. And the whole point of business statistics is businesses need to make decisions with data in real time. So if you go to Amazon.com and you look at the price of a particular good, you'll see that it varies literally from second to second. When you refresh the screen, the price will often change. And so this is a really important part of business, and it's becoming more and more important. When I was a student, when I was your age, you know, back when the dinosaurs roamed the earth, it wasn't such a big deal. But now it's a huge deal, and everything is done making decisions based on data. And the question is, are you going to make good decisions or bad decisions? So this course is focused towards that. Okay, as far as the course materials, just to make sure everyone's on the same page, so I'm going to go back here to My Lab and Mastering. Let me just check in really quick while that's loading to see if we have any I have to get out of screen share. Let's see chats. No. Okay, so no one's had any new comments or questions. Okay, so when you go to My Lab and Mastering, you can click on this orange link. This will take you into all the assignments. All of the homeworks and all of the exams will be through My Lab and Mastering. They will all be online, okay? You should be able to purchase the course materials if you haven't already using that link that I just showed you. And of course, you'll have a different screenshot than I have because you're going to have the student view, okay? So you can access all the materials, everything in here. And you want to try to do that as soon as possible because, as I just said, all of the homeworks and all of the exams are linked through My Lab and Mastering. And My Lab and Mastering, just so you can kind of see, it's actually a bundle. It contains everything you need for this course. So our textbook is here. Okay, the assignments will be here. And we're going to use a particular computational tool called StatCrunch. I know the title of the book is using statistics or elementary statistics with Excel. We are not going to use Excel. Excel has a lot of great things, but the business majors who are really going to need Excel, they already know the level of material I'm going to teach. And for those of you who haven't had Excel, you can easily learn what I'm going to teach you. It's not particularly hard. The problem with Excel is good for real basic things. It's good for data manipulation. It's good for downloading. It's good for transferring data and information. What it's not particularly good at is statistics. And so this tool here, StatCrunch, really simplifies things. It's 100 times easier than Excel. Sometimes I joke with students that it's actually too easy, okay? So even though Excel is very easy, when it comes to doing certain things later on in the course, you're going to find that you'll have to write a lot of extra commands to do it. And it's not particularly easy. Whereas StatCrunch does things instantly. So everything you need for the course is totally bundled in here, okay? So let me stop now and see what questions do we have? Has anyone had any difficulty getting the materials? Any problems we're having in that regard? Okay, I hear radio silence, so I'm going to assume everything is okay then. All right, so stepping through the syllabus a little more. What did I do with it? So the next thing is the course schedule. This is super important. So can I get some feedback from you guys? Is there anyone in this class that has never used modules? Just just if you don't know what modules, just type IDK. Okay. I'm not hearing any feedback from anyone. Can you guys hear me? I just want to make
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
are you talking about using modules in like in Canvas or
Yes.
like overall class? Okay, yeah.
Yes. Okay. So I'm taking it then that everyone. Oh, okay. Hold on. Okay. So I think we got that taken care of. Okay. Okay. So everyone's familiar with modules. Okay. If you aren't, I'm gonna give you a 10-second lesson on modules. Okay. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to the left-hand side of our Canvas course homepage and click on modules. And what's happening right now is the university, because for a variety of reasons, they want to have everything in the same format. So to my knowledge, all the instructors who are doing courses on Canvas are using this module structure. And a module is just a way of grouping related activities. Okay, so I have this module 0. So here you're going to take an intake survey, and that's all online. Okay, I've done that through Canvas. And then you're going to participate in a discussion board. And again, it should be self-explanatory. So let me just start off and show you what I mean. Okay, so this intake survey you have to do. This is part of your grade. All right. And this is a little bit of biographical information and your attitude towards statistics. Okay. And again, you're just going to enter your answers. All right. A couple people have already responded. And whenever you want to skip through a module, all you have to do is just hit next. Okay. So I'm going to have to go to the bottom here, and that will take me to my next. And so now we're starting the module for chapter 1. Okay. And here's what I want to emphasize to you. So the first module is really not our regular classwork, right? This is just kind of an intro sort of thing. Every single chapter is going to have its own modules, and we're always going to follow the same format. So first you're going to click here, and this is going to give you an overview of the class. You're going to watch this intro video here, okay? And there's nothing that you have to do here. You just have to watch the intro video. Next, you're going to do the readings. And so you're going to go to your class textbook, which was here, right? Okay, and read the relevant portions. One thing I'll say that I've noticed among some students is sometimes there's this misconception that you can get through a class without doing readings. And, I don't know in what universe that's possible, but it's not possible on Planet Brenneman. Okay, you really have to do the readings for the class. One of the things I try to do is I really try to streamline things for you, okay? So these are the portions that you want to focus on. There are certain things that you can ignore, okay? So I'm only going to try to have you cover material that we're actually going to use. The statistics book you're going to find, it's not my choice, okay? I don't hate it, but I'm not real jazzed about it either. And one of the issues that I would have if I was a student reading it is there's way too much information. I mean, to me, when I look at it, it looks like somebody vomited up, statistics information. There's just stuff everywhere. And so that's why I'm trying to pare it down and tell you what to focus on. And we're not going to cover everything in the text. I'm going to cover what's important for you to understand the statistics that you're going to use as best I can. Okay? So you go ahead and do the reading. After the reading, you're going to have what I call a summary video, and that's going to essentially take the place of a lecture. There's going to be a quiz embedded in the video. Okay, so these are the lecture notes. You can download those, and then you can follow along in the video as I fill in the blanks. I try to prepare my notes ahead of time because there are two things about me that you'll find out are shortcomings. The first is my handwriting. It is terrible. It looks like serial killer scrawl. Okay, it's bad. I know that. If I print on paper slowly, I can do a pretty decent job. So hopefully you can understand this and follow along. You'll click on the video link. We have our own YouTube channel for this class. You'll watch the video, okay? And then there will be questions embedded inside the video. And again, those questions count towards part of your participation and engagement grade. And I'll get into grades a little bit later. So let me just stop here for a second, see if anyone has any questions. I'm gonna try and move this window out of the way here for a second. Okay, let me just see if we have any questions. Okay, so do we have any questions at this point? Anything that seems unfamiliar or anything that's not clear? Okay, so moving on. After you get done with that, so you're gonna watch the intro video, do the readings, take the quiz to test your comprehension. Then you're going to participate in something called a discussion board. I'm sorry, you're gonna go to class, and this is where your Zoom meeting links are gonna be. You're always going to use the same link for every class, okay? So this class is Tuesday, Thursday. Tuesday's class is going to be replaced by that summary video, okay? If people want, I can hold a synchronous class in lieu of that. However, I can tell you from my own experience, I think it's more convenient for you to watch the video of the lecture, okay? You can do it on your own time. You're going to find out as the semester goes on, things may happen. We're going to have a very active hurricane season. There's going to be all sorts of stuff going on, okay? I think it's much more convenient for you to do it at your own leisure. You're not getting anything in that video that you're not going to get in class. You have the best seat in the house, and you're not sitting in the back trying to crane your neck. I think it's going to be good. So I try to be respectful of your time, and again, try to make things convenient and simple. All right. If people, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, so on Tuesday, just to clarify, we will not have like a Zoom live time.
Exactly. So for right now, I'm doing it just as an intro to get you guys prepared. If there is overwhelming support for having a Zoom class, I'm more than happy to do it. You know, I always hate it when professors say my class this and my class that, because it's not their class. It's your class, right? You guys pay for it. And I'm here to do what will best help you to learn. So if people decide they would rather go back, I'm more than happy to, but I think you're going to find that the video is the same thing, and it's going to be a lot more convenient, especially if things go south, which is pretty likely at some point something's going to happen, okay? Okay, so after you get done going to the Zoom meeting, and essentially what I'm going to do in these Zoom meetings, so next Thursday, I'm going to focus on a lot of problem solving. I'm going to give a really quick recap, answer any questions that you have about the reading and about the videos that you've been watching, and I'm going to try to work problems and kind of give you hints about things where you're going to have problems and stuff like that. One of the things about statistics, okay, here's the good and the bad. Which do you want to hear first? The good or the bad?
Bad.
Bad. All right. I like you guys. Okay. So the bad is that statistics is a lot of word problems. That's the bad part. Okay. And so some people don't like word problems. How is this relevant to what we're talking about right now? Well, there's a certain amount of skill you need to learn to how to interpret a word problem. And so part of these problem solving sessions are going to be geared towards helping you take apart a sort of word problem, which is basically going to be a description of a statistical study. It's very good to learn this because you guys are going to hear a lot of studies when you leave here, and I'm going to tell you as a professional statistician, I would estimate about, and I'm going to be generous here, 50% are just bullshit. Okay. And I'm being nice. I'm being generous. Here at the university, we have them all the time. I would say 90% of them are BS. And so it's important to understand when a study is good and when it's bad. So there was bad with a little bit of good in there, right? Now here's the good part. Statistics is not mathematics. And all of the math that we're going to do is done by the computer. I don't compute anything by hand. Okay, I haven't done so for the last oh God, I don't even know how long. I couldn't even tell you. Okay, computer does everything for us. Statistics is more like logic. And so the other bad part that I didn't tell you about is that there's a certain type of logic you have to understand. And this is where I'm going to deviate from the book a little bit. So if you watch my video, you'll see I present the information a little different, because understanding this logic is really important for you to understand statistics. And I can tell you for myself, when I was a student, just very briefly, I got an A in statistics, I breezed through it, no problems, blah, 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 and I didn't understand it. Okay, I could get the answers, I knew the formulas, I knew what the teacher wanted, but the most important concept in statistics, we're going to learn later in chapter 6. It's called the central limit theorem. It's called central for a reason, because it literally sits at the center of all statistics. If you don't have the central limit theorem, we wouldn't even be talking right now. You couldn't even do statistics. I didn't understand that. And when I left the course, I thought, wow, I'm such an idiot. I figured it out later on my own. I started doing research, and I was like, oh, wow. The most important part of all statistics, it went right over my head. I'm such an idiot. I'm never going to tell anyone this is my dark, deep secret. No one will ever know how stupid I was, right? But then I started working with engineers doing statistical signal processing. These guys had master's degrees, and they didn't understand it either, a lot of them. Then I realized, oh, it's not so easy. Why did I not get it? Okay, well, one of the reasons why is because it's hard. The conceptual statistics is harder than computational statistics. The other part is I wasn't taught really well. I wasn't taught the way I should have been taught. And it's this logic that's part of the conceptual part of statistics. So I'm going to deviate a little bit. I'm going to try to emphasize the concepts. And hopefully when you leave, you'll not only be able to get a good grade in the course, you'll actually understand what you're doing too. Because it is possible to graduate, get an A in this course like I did, and really not understand the material, which I don't want for you. Okay? All right, so after you get done with the Zoom meeting, we're going to have a discussion board. Now, just a quick word about discussions, okay?
I had a question.
Yeah.
Like this coming Thursday, so day after tomorrow, are we going to have a Zoom meeting or not?
Yes, every Thursday.
And is the homework like due this Thursday or?
So the homework assignments, as you're stepping through, you'll see it. You can go to the assignment. So there's various ways you can find out about due dates. And I might not have this all set up, but if you go to assignments, and I think when I make an assignment, you guys get an email, right?
I think so.
Okay, so you guys should have emails, but you can see here all the due dates. Usually I try to make them all due at the same time, not because I want you to cram. I mean, you should be doing these things as you're stepping along. And usually for most chapters, we're going to start on a Monday, we'll end on a Friday, the homework will be due that Sunday. Okay? So like these things were all due Sunday, homework one's due on Sunday. All right?
And how about the quiz? Are we going to have a quiz this Thursday?
The quiz will be embedded in this video. So when you go to the summary video, here, I'll show you really quick. And it's a little deceptive because you won't see the quiz. It's actually embedded inside the video. So when you're watching this video, questions will pop up throughout the video, and you just basically, it's either multiple choice, true or false, multiple answers, something like that, okay? Yeah, so really good questions. And I know this is new to you guys, so feel free to ask, okay? I always say the only stupid question is the one you don't ask, right? Because that's the one that Murphy's Law, you're gonna need to have answered at some point. Okay, so we're gonna generally have a discussion each week. So two quick things about discussions, okay? First, I'm not a huge fan of discussion boards for online classes. I think that I always hate when teachers do this, make one response and respond to 3 other students. That's like cookie cutter bullshit, and you guys just think it's busy work, and it is. All right. I've tried very hard this semester to make meaningful discussions, and hopefully, you will get something out of it. The second thing I want to say is that some of these discussions are going to deal with sensitive issues. So I joke sometimes that statistics involves all the things that your relatives fight at over the Thanksgiving Day table, right? Income, gender, religion, race, political affiliation, et cetera, all the things that people get really incensed about and feel passionately about, especially these days, right? And so this first discussion is going to be about George Floyd, the incident that happened. And a lot of people are thinking about this, and some statisticians are doing analysis. The one thing that I ask is that when you're doing these discussions, okay, and you're especially responding to other people, you're respectful. Not in the sense that you can't say what you think necessarily, but don't make assumptions about people, okay? Just because someone responds a certain way, don't make certain assumptions. If you want to understand what they're saying, rather than assume, ask questions. And I'm going to tell you a very quick story to kind of illustrate what I mean and why I'm doing this. Over the summer, there was a discussion about changing the name of an award in statistics. So these were professional statisticians. This was a closed news group, okay? And they wanted to change it from the Fisher Award. Fisher's the father of modern statistics, okay? He's like the GOAT, greatest of all time, okay? They wanted to change it from his name to the name of a black probability theorist called David Blackwell. And the reason why was Fisher believed back in the early 1900s in eugenics. And people were very upset about that. While we were having this discussion, people just flew off the handle. Okay? And I was one of the people that just wanted to raise the question, why are we doing this? What is the rationale? What is the criteria? And I got called everything under the sun. Okay, I got called a racist, which by people who didn't know me because they didn't ask questions. They just started off, you're a racist, you're using white privilege. Meanwhile, my first wife was an African-American woman who was born and raised in Chicago. My current fiance is mixed race. So if I'm a racist, I'm a really weird sort of racist, okay? But that's how people can be when they don't just stop to ask questions. So this should never go on in the discussion board, okay? If anyone feels strongly and they don't want to participate, I'm more than happy to exempt you. I don't want to cause anyone anxiety. And I know that for some people this is a really touchy thing, especially if you were involved in such a situation. The reason why I do this is I think it's incredibly important that all of you learn how to have discussions in a rational, civil manner. The thing that concerns me the most right now when I look around the world is how divisive and how polarized things are. And so hopefully this will kind of help us learn this, okay? So just be very thoughtful before you post things. Think about what you're saying. If anyone says anything that's out of line, okay, I may say something. I'm not trying to punish you or make an exception out of you. Consider it a learning experience, okay? But hopefully you'll find this meaningful. And they aren't going to all be, they aren't all going to be really serious. I mean, but see, I think this is more useful than having a discussion about counting colored M&Ms. Okay, I mean myself, I think this is something that is more useful for you and you'll find a lot more interesting. And I think it's important to learn how to get to the bottom of certain things, okay? So let me just check really quick. Any questions so far? Everybody's good? You guys are a really quiet bunch, okay? I hope that means that everyone's tracking and everything's good. All right. When I was a student, I don't know how many questions I asked. I once went to my professor, I said, can I ask you a stupid question? He said, better than anyone else. So I asked a lot of questions. Okay, so the homework, you can access it. So you asked, how do you get to the homework, right? You can access it by clicking here. Here's some helpful hints. I can tell you right offhand, don't wait till the last minute, okay? Stay on top of the assignments. Don't try to go straight to the homework. So you're gonna find that the time you spend going through the modules properly is gonna really pay off, not only in a better grade, but it's also gonna save you a lot of time too. Please make use of the SI sessions. So we have an SI for this class. I'll show you really quick, and I'm gonna post her intro video tonight. She did a really nice intro video. By the way, while I'm asking questions to see what you guys know and don't know, is there anyone that does not know what a supplemental instructor is? Just type IDK if you don't know. Everybody's good? Okay. Oh, okay. All right, good. That's perfectly fine. So let me kind of step you through this. So in MA222, like a number of other classes, they have evening sessions that are dedicated just to that class. So we have 2 evening sessions. They're called supplemental instruction because they're going to supplement the class. They're in addition. You don't have to attend. It's mandatory. But if you're having problems and you have issues and you're not understanding something, you're having problems with the homework, and you get more than one attempt on the homework, by the way. So you're doing the first attempt and you're like, wow, I was way off. I have no clue what I'm doing. You go back, you do the reading, you still don't get it. All right, you can go to these supplemental, instruction sessions. And so here is the time for this. And again, I'll put this on the front page tonight. Okay, I'll try to put all the main links. And so it's going to be on Sunday and Thursdays, or Thursdays and Sundays if you prefer, from 6 to 7:30 on the first floor, College of Arts and Sciences, room 107. And you can go and ask anything. You can work homework problems. We have our SI instructor. Her name is Anna Zomtessel. She's incredibly good. When I choose SIs, I only choose the very best students. Last semester, I had over 100 students. She was literally number 1. So she's in the top first percentile of her class. She's very, very good. And I'll post a little, when I redo the front page, I'll post a little video message she has for you guys. But she's very good. So you can go to those. A lot of times they'll work extra problems to make sure that you understand things. This is her first semester doing SI. So usually, and I've had a number of supplemental instructors, usually they're a little shy at the beginning, okay? But they're like everyone else. They're kind of getting the lay of the land, and she'll be excellent. So at the beginning, she may be a little, I can't think of the word for it, a little awkward, but she'll be perfectly fine, okay? And so that's how you get help. That's one of the ways you can get help, besides going to me and using the Ask My Instructor, okay? Don't go to A Squared, all right? It's not because I don't respect people in A Squared. They're perfectly fine. The problem is very few of the A Squared instructors are qualified to tutor MA222. And even if they were, you have to make an appointment. So you may make an appointment, they may not be able to get you in, or at a time that's not convenient. They only have a limited amount of time. If you come to me, I can do a much better job. And I want to explain about the office hours while we're talking about getting help. So I don't have formal office hours for this class. For this class, when you want to reach me, you can email me, like a number of you have done, or you can call me. Okay, so and my cell's in the syllabus. Now, I have to be honest, okay, even though I use technology a lot and I'm pretty good at it, I'm also older generation, and I'm always suspicious because I see a lot of bad uses of technology. So in the beginning I was like, I don't know about these virtual office hours, but I'm going to tell you this is one instance where technology is actually better than the real thing. When you come for regular office hours, first, you have to be able to come when I'm available, right? Or you have to make an appointment, and that's a pain, send an email, I have to check my schedule, blah, blah, blah. You get there, I have a certain amount of time to spend with you. You leave with a few scraps of paper, and then you get home and you try to work the problems, and you're like, what did he do? Okay. When we do office hours online, you send me a text. I send you a Zoom link in literally a minute, okay? And I'm not exaggerating. In a minute, I can send you a Zoom link. We're on Zoom like that. You don't have to walk anywhere. You don't have to deal with the rain or the heat or anything. You're right there. We can share screens. We can talk. I have a tablet. I can write out all of our work. I can save it as a PDF and email it to you so you have everything. In addition to that, I can make a video of the session. So if you're like, what did we do here? I don't remember that stuff. You can just go back. It's a YouTube video. Fast forward to the place you need to go, and you can watch that. So I think that office hours online are actually far superior to in-person office hours, and we're not allowed to have in-person office hours anyhow. So I make it by appointment, so it's convenient. Again, convenient for you. When it's good for your schedule, we will try to work then. Okay. So I think that's a lot better. And that's pretty much it as far as the class goes. You finished the homework, you're done with the modules. Two things I want to mention really quick, okay? And this kind of goes to okay, so course policies and grading, all right? I mean, grading is kind of an important part, right? All right, so grading, the modules that you're going to do practically every week are going to count as part of your participation and engagement. I don't take attendance per se, so I call it participation and engagement. There are only 4 points per module. You have 1,000 points total. It's really low stakes, okay? I mean, I count it because I want you to do it, and I think it's important for you to do. And one of the reasons it's important for you to do is because the final exam is going to probably be based on the module discussions. So you do want to be paying attention. The final, which I'll talk about in a minute, is going to come off of those probably. There are 10 discussion boards. I'll drop the lowest 3. I'm going to drop a number of different assignments, but I won't do it immediately. And the reason why is if I drop it immediately, you won't have a realistic assessment of what your grade is, right? You won't be able to estimate what your grade is. So I usually start to do the dropping scores around midterm. Then you have enough grades in that even when you drop them, you still have a decent idea of how you're doing. If you're not doing well in the beginning, I want you to know it. I don't want to mask it by having you drop the lowest assignments. You say, oh, I'm doing fine. You know, I got 100 on this one assignment. Meanwhile, everything else that you're doing poorly in maybe is dropped, and that's being hidden from you, right? So you don't want that. Reading quizzes, again, those are the quizzes that are embedded. And let me just go back here just to make sure that, because I realize there's a lot of moving parts, okay? And even as a student, I think I would get confused. So when you're doing this, you're watching the intro video, doing the readings, doing the summary video. This is the reading quizzes, okay? Those count for a little bit more. Okay, there's going to be 9 total. I'll drop the lowest 2. Your well-being checklist survey. So that's the thing that's up here, your intake survey. And I need that to make sure that there are no problems with anyone in doing this course online. Okay, and I also want to know what sort of concerns you have coming into the course, all right? That's worth 20 points. So that's worth a lot. And you're going to take that in Canvas. But again, if you step through, it just automatically pops up. Finally, I'm going to have 2 meetings during the course of the semester with each person individually. I like to get to know all you guys. It's good for me to get to know you, okay? Because if you come to me and you want, you know, a recommendation or whatever, then I can put a name to the face, all right? And I just want to see how everything's going. I also want to give you feedback too. And this is a good way to do this because I can also kind of get your side and see what's going on. And none of those are going to be dropped. 150 points total for participation and engagement. Homeworks, all online, all through MyLab and Mastery, all through the modules. You can access all of them through the modules. So as you're stepping through, the last thing in a module will always be the homework. All right. Exams, there'll be 3 exams. None of them will be dropped. Again, they will be through MyLab and Mastering. It just happens to work out that each of the 3 chapters are going to be 1 exam. So 1 through 3 is going to be exam 1, chapters 4 through 6, exam 2, chapters 7 through 9, exam 3. Okay. The final will be online. I'm not sure right now if it will be through MyLab and Mastery. There's a good chance that I'll make it up and give it to you on Canvas. It'll be online, but it'll be through Canvas maybe. There is no set time for the finals because this is an online course, according to the registrar. Now, there are assigned times for this class, so technically I could use the assigned times. The problem is some people are remote. They're in another country, literally. Some people have conflicts with their schedule because the registrar, when it noticed an online class, it, for some reason, caused there to be an overlap or a conflict with people's schedules. So because of that reason, I don't want to set a definite time. I'm going to open it up from the beginning of final exam period to the end. Okay. because again, who knows what's going to happen, right? So this will make it nice and easy. It will be time limited, but you can take it anytime during that window, okay? 1,000 points total. Okay, questions on anything related to the grades? Everybody's good. Okay. Either I'm doing a great job or I don't know what. Okay. So a couple of things about course policies. Okay. And this part's important. First of all, you're responsible for all class announcements. So you should definitely make sure that you always check the course announcements. The assignment notifications, you should get them through email. But again, if you're following along through modules, you'll get them naturally. Most chapters will be from the beginning of the week, Monday to Sunday. And the assignment everything will always be due on Sunday. I'm going to allow people extensions on a few items. You should contact me before the item is due. All right, I'll keep a Google Sheets page on the front page when I redo the Canvas page today, so you can keep track of your extensions. The last thing I want to mention before I talk about DSS is what happens if something goes wrong. So there's a very good chance during the course of this semester something's going to go wrong with somebody, and God forbid it would be you. Not necessarily COVID, right? You can have a death in the family or whatever. Generally, Dean of Student Affairs contacts me, but they may or may not. Or it may be something that the Dean of Student Affairs will not give you an extension for, but I might be able to. As soon as you know there's an issue, you should contact me. You should contact all of your instructors. A, it's a courtesy, and B, I can help you get through that period with as little frustration as possible, and C, I can help you set up things in such a way that you can get extensions and whatnot. Sometimes students will come to me 3 weeks after they've been out of class and they never notified me. And they'll say, hey, I had a valid excuse. I want extensions on all these things. And here's the catchy part. Sometimes I can do it and sometimes I can't. Depends on the situation. So the thing that you have to appreciate as a student, from my perspective, is that the university is regulated. We get federal funding, so we're regulated. And one of the ways in which we're regulated is there is accreditation oversight. There is an agency that comes in and audits our courses. If they audit my class, one of the questions they ask is whether or not I gave students any preferential treatment that the rest of the students were not given. And first, I have to answer honestly, and secondly, I have to account for my actions. And they do that just so professors won't pass everyone in the class who had any sort of problem for whatever reason. And there are certain circumstances under which I can give you those extensions and I can't. If you come to me 3 weeks later with an excuse and you want me to grant you an extension, I may have to say no. Not that I don't want to, it's that I can't, because I get in trouble and the university gets in trouble. So, please make sure that you do that. Get out in front of things, okay? As far as academic integrity, majority of the assignments are online. Yes, you can cheat. No, you should not. Okay. Ethics is really important, especially if you're in business. If people are going to trust you with their money, right? I mean, I'm not going to trust somebody that I can't be sure they really have good morals and good ethics. So you want to start now. Sometimes students cut corners and they say, when I get out in the real world, I'll do it. And the answer is, no, you won't be. You'll be the same person you are right now. Okay, so you want to start practicing good ethics now if you aren't already. Last thing I want to mention is DSS, and then I'll be done for today and I'll answer whatever questions you have. So for DSS, I'm getting notifications from the DSS office. I cannot give any regular extensions or any sort of accommodations to any student without DSS approval. And they're sending me out some. If you're in DSS, it's not a bad idea to send me an email, because one of the things I'm noticing this semester, probably because of COVID, DSS office is a little behind, and I may not have got that information yet. So it's a good idea to check in and say, hey, I have accommodations through DSS. These are what they generally give me as far as accommodations. and then I can check with, I believe it's Victoria Lloyd, who's the head of that, okay? Typically, accommodations come just in the form of extended time, which I can do easily, not a problem. If there's something else that you need, so if there's closed captions that you need or anything, let me know, because right now the videos aren't set up for closed caption. And so if there's anything besides time extension, even though the DSS office will notify me, the second bad thing you should know about me is that I'm not really good at administrative details. Okay, dotting the I's and crossing the T's, not my strong suit. I work really hard at it. You can probably tell from the announcements, I have everything organized, but things will slip through my fingers sometimes. So not a bad idea to check with me. Let me know if there's anything special you need. Okay, I'm going to stop screen sharing because I think I'm pretty much done. And let me turn it over to you guys. So what questions do you guys have? And by the way, if you're decent, can you show me your screen view? If you can enable video, I like to see everyone. This is half the fun of teaching. I get to know you guys a little bit more personally. All right, there we all are. Excellent. Okay. All right, thanks. It's always good to put a name with a face. Okay, great. So what questions do you guys have? Plus, this way I can make sure you're staying awake too, Questions, concerns, everyone's good, everyone has the materials, all right?
I have a question. So for testing, are we going to be we're doing that online through Canvas? Is that what you said?
No, so the homework, and okay, so everything is done through Canvas. You're right, if you step through modules. As far as how you take some of the assessments, like the homeworks and the exams will be through MyLab and Mastering, but of course that's linked to Canvas. And as you're going through the module structure, and let me just show you, because this is not so minor a point. If I can, this window's blocking a few things here. Here we go. Let me just show you really quick. Okay, so when you're stepping through the course modules, so for example, like, you'll see the homework in here, okay? So even though you're going to hit it as you're going through the course modules, when you actually take the homework, it's going to redirect you to MyLab and Mastering, okay? So that'll be the format. MyLab and Mastering will be the format for the homeworks, for the exams and the homeworks. That'll be the format. The discussion boards, you just type in an answer, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And the reading quizzes you'll take in the middle of the reading quiz stuff will just pop up.
Oh, okay.
And I know it's busy. Unfortunately, I do not have any control over the course structure. The university is being really strict because of everything that's going on. So, I think it's a little too much work for you guys, I'll be honest. And that's why I'm going to drop some things and cut you guys slacks and extension and all this sort of stuff, okay? But unfortunately, I can't make the work any less than it is. If I could, I would.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Other questions. Hey, Kayla, I really love your background. That's so cool. How are you breathing? She has a space. Can you guys see she has a space background? All right. You'll have to let me know. Other questions, concerns we have, fears, worries. Doesn't have to be about this stuff per se. Everyone's good?
Are we gonna have like any group projects or anything to work as a group?
No group projects. So I know that there are semesters when we've had group projects. If we were doing in person, if I was teaching the course, I definitely do it. I think group projects are good, but it's almost impossible online. It's hard enough to do group projects when you can meet with people. Online, it's 10 times harder, and plus collecting data when you're at different locations remotely is hard. So unfortunately, no group projects. The group discussions, these discussion boards are kind of like group discussions, right? Class discussions. That's going to, in a sense, take the place of group projects. Okay. So, what other questions do we have? I know you must have sun. Come on. Now's the time for truth. Everybody's good? Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep, our class runs from when to when. I'm kind of learning our schedule too. My schedule. So technically, we're on till
12:45 to 2, I guess.
yeah, till 2. So I'll tell you what, I'm gonna hang around, and if you guys have any other questions, you know, feel free to let me know. I'll hang around. If there's anything you want to discuss in person, I know sometimes people have anxiety about different sorts of things of the course. That's perfectly fine, or particular situations. I'm more than happy to discuss those. But if you're all good, if you don't have any questions, you're free to leave of your own cognizance, and I will see you guys on Thursday. All right. All right. Thanks for showing up, guys. I'll see you Thursday, and I'm gonna hang around. Take care. All right. All right.